Tonight on The Edge, a packed house in Corktown as people push to save bricks on Michigan Avenue. MDOT says it needs to do some major upgrades on the historic road in the name of safety. But locals are not budging. They want the iconic bricks to stay for good. Business owners fear the proposed project could lead to fewer parking spaces and make it harder to get around the area by creating only 2 transit lanes. Bikers worry about having enough space for safe biking.
We need to keep these lanes open. We need to save the bricks in the best manner that we possibly can.
Put in a bike lane, put in an extra bus lane or a this or a that to destroy something that's been there for 107 years, unless you're willing to supplement my sales.
Right.
Here we go. That's it.
MDOT hit the pause button on the multi-million-dollar project for now. They say they're still gathering feedback before making any final decisions. Well, UAW workers are not giving up their jobs without a fight. And they rallied tonight near the Stellantis Warren truck plant after the automaker announced it's cutting thousands of jobs. Fox News' Dave Kinchin has reaction from UAW President Shawn Fain.
Who are we? UAW! Who are we? UAW!
Hundreds of auto workers upping the pressure on Stellantis to save their jobs with a rally near Warren Truck, where the automaker recently announced the end of the second shift, cutting nearly 2,500 jobs. We spoke with union president Shawn Fain, who says Stellantis must honor the commitments they made to the workers and the wheels they make. How much worse could this get for workers? Stellantis has been in flux for a while, it seems.
Well, I don't know. It's up to the company. I mean, look, they're launching 20 products over the next year or so, next 2 years. And they're not making commitment. You know, the commitments they made here, they're not honoring. So if they don't honor those commitments, it's going to get worse. So and we can't sit back and just let that happen.
Stellantis says it's continuing to navigate unrelenting challenges in the auto industry by streamlining their operations. Part of that means ending production of the Ram 1500 Classic while refocusing their production on the Wagoneer SUV. However, Stellantis also points to a newly announced $97 million investment in Warren Truck, and they say it's part of a more than $400 million infusion into 3 Michigan plants. But workers still want to give executives an earful.
There's no call for it. You got 2/3 of the money of this corporation is being made right here in North America, and the idea that they want to take jobs from us is just crazy.
Look at GM, look at Ford. I mean, we're not having these issues there. This isn't market conditions, so they can claim that all day long. GM just reported $4.4 billion in earnings this quarter, so market conditions aren't bad. It's decisions that they've made at the top.
Some industry analysts wonder and fear whether such a situation between the UAW and Stellantis could lead to another strike, but so far everyone is watching and hoping something can be worked out. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
The word that has come to mind all day is hope.
Henry Ford Health CEO is hyped up watching their new hospital in Detroit break ground. They're spending $2.2 billion expanding their campus on Grand Boulevard. The hospital will have a new emergency room that doubles its current size, more operating rooms, and over 400 new patient beds. They're also teaming up with Michigan State University to create a new research center nearby, and a partnership with the Pistons will bring more than 500 housing units right to that area. Henry Ford Health hopes to open the new hospital in 5 years. We're one step closer to the weekend, Friday Eve, we like to call it. And we promise, though, it is going to be even warmer than our last weekend. You and I and Rich Luderman, at some point, we all did weekend morning show. Remember that promo? It's the weekend. It's like not coming yet, up.
Let me tell you something. When it's nice in September on a weekend, you got to love it. And we have these summer-like readings that will continue through tomorrow, the weekend, and beyond. It's easy to see the remnants of Francine spinning down close to Memphis. There is some rain south of St. Louis. This rain is not coming our way. There's a strong high pressure parked over New York City, and it's ridging back into the Great Lakes. And as a result, there's very little change to our overall pattern. What that means is great weather continues. You can see Chicago, Detroit, up through the Thumb region. Traverse City right now, beautiful out there around Toronto, Cleveland, and Buffalo as well. How about some live pictures from Chicago O'Hare? Good weather in the Windy City tonight. You can see not much going on around the airport. Look at these daytime highs. We made it to 85 today. 89s for Fort Wayne and for Columbus, Ohio, 87 Chicago, even way up there around Newberry in the eastern UP, 82 degrees. So for the middle part of September, pretty warm for sure. 84 and 60 your official high and low. There your averages. Look at the records, 96. And on the low side, 39. Right now, it's pretty quiet out there. There are going to be some areas of fog once again tonight, like we've seen the last couple of nights. 64 Windsor, 66 in Jackson. There's 63 to our north in Lapeer. The flow is very light, but it's from the east, and that brings in the moisture from Lakes Erie and St. Clair, Lake Huron as well. So again, some fog areas, a possibility through the overnight hours. There's 57 in Pellston, 73 in Chicago, 72 in Columbus. High pressure is parked. I'm going to step out of the way. There it is over New York City. It doesn't really move much. As a result, our weather stays the same. Comfortable tonight, down to 62. Watch out for some early morning fog in spots, but then a beautiful Friday, warm and dry, 83. And look at that, no change through early next week. Sunday for all the tailgaters heading downtown, no problems. And you can always get the latest forecast. Check it out. It's on the Fox 2 Weather app. You can download it for free right now or anytime in the App Store or in Google Play.
The victim is over 80 years old, and the suspect informs the police at the scene, "I knocked his ass out."
A prosecutor makes a case to raise the bond on the suspect accused of an unprovoked attack on an elderly German tourist in downtown Detroit. However, that request was denied. According to investigators, the 81-year-old victim was here during a crew stop Saturday morning when he was assaulted by 30-year-old Lawrence Gilchrist inside the CompuWare building. That victim had to have brain surgery, and we're told he might not survive. Initially, Gilchrist was given a $50,000 cash surety bond. During today's bond redetermination hearing, the judge allowed Gilchrist to pay 10% and to be released on a tether to home confinement because he was not deemed a flight risk or a threat to his victim.
A devastating day for DTE. One of the company's contractors is killed on the job.
Fox 2's Lauren Edwards tells us what unfolded in this horrific accident.
This is the aftermath of the fire on Powell Road. Macomb County Sheriff's Office tells Fox 2 around 1 p.m. a vacuum truck hit power lines above, sparking a fire. Flames engulfed the body of the truck. As a result, they say a 61-year-old man died at the scene. Powell Road was closed throughout the afternoon and evening. Fox 2 reached out to DTE. They released the following statement, quote, "It is with heavy hearts that we confirm that a contractor lost an employee today while doing work for DTE. The individual who was working in Macomb County came in contact with overhead equipment and was fatally wounded. We send our love and support to his family and loved ones. Our teams are currently on the scene working with first responders and local officials to assist with the investigation," end quote. Again, the intersection of Powell Road and 32 Mile is finally back open after being shut down for hours. In Macomb County, Lauren Edwards, On the Edge.
I'm sunk, you know, I don't really know how to process it yet. You know, I'm kind of in like, I guess I'm in shock.
The owner of Woodshed Studios in Oak Park gutted over the destruction of his store. The indie record store on 9 Mile sustained pretty major damage during an early morning fire at the business next door known as the Wealthy Store. Fire investigators worked late into the day, but they don't know a cause for the fire at this point. As you can see, the damage is pretty bad.
The whole place is smoked up on fire.
A Detroit funeral home on fire. Fire crews were called to the Ellis Funeral Home on Grand River this afternoon on the city's west side as smoke and flames started shooting through the roof. The DFD fire chief tells us his firefighters did a great job in their response to knock down the fire quickly. An investigation is underway as to the cause of that fire. Wednesday night on The Edge, we shared with you a pretty appalling story of a man and a woman having sex on a stranger's driveway in Farmington Hills. Tonight, police sent us some fully clothed images, hoping you can identify the frisky suspects. Okay, there's still one shot that needs to be blurred, but police want to find these two who did the deed while a 13-year-old watched on the Ring doorbell cam. The child was waiting for a package delivery. Farmington Hills police would appreciate your help in identifying who these two are. Well, all the cameras were on Detroit's very own Big Sean tonight. But the one stealing the spotlight was cryptocurrency. The America Loves Crypto bus tour stopped at Lager House on Michigan Avenue. It's put on by the nonprofit Stand With Crypto, which aims to educate and unite crypto advocates. We talked to one man who says the lack of regulation is hurting the industry, but the future is bright.
We want to make sure that people understand that crypto is more than just Bitcoin. It's more than just money, right? This is a technology that's about freedom, about being able to take back your money from middlemen, right? And it's not so much as if, but when. And so if you get behind it right now, you'll get a chance to change your life.
Benning adds that this election cycle is important for crypto regulations. Nearly 1 million people in Michigan own a form of the currency.